If you enjoy world building, you probably come up with way more detail about your world and its people than you can easily deliver to your players, without handing them folders of information or going through long expositions. Now, let's be honest, I don't think most people would read through that, and long info dumps mid-game are a drag. But I get it. You made something you're excited about and you want to share it with your friends. My solution to this was heavily inspired by my surroundings. I live in a small, predominantly Roman Catholic country, and over the summer there's some kind of feast or celebration or holiday at least once a week. And while it did make it pretty difficult to record the sound for this video, turns out that it's a fantastic way to distribute lore. In fact, I'm surprised they're not used more in tabletop role-playing settings. The only one I'm aware of that does it is Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 2nd Edition, and even that doesn't delve into too much detail. I did try to put some of this into my random event charts in Book 2 of Traveler's Tales, but those entries are deliberately open-ended, and I think the subject deserves more meat on it. Hi, I'm Karl, and this video is part of the September Dungeon Jam. Each month a whole lot of dungeon tubers make videos about a specific topic, and this month it's season celebrations. There will be a playlist with other videos on the subject which I linked to in this video, so be sure to check that out. But right now, let's see what celebrations can do for world building and games. Festivals and celebrations can be a great way to let the players learn what a given culture thinks is important and what they believe in, organically. If your town or city has a patron saint or deity or some significant historical event, they can have a special holiday or days to celebrate them. When the place suddenly sprouts colorful banners and people start singing and playing music in the streets, players will hopefully want to know what's going on and ask. There are enough opportunities to deliver information that you can split it up into small manageable chunks. The banners depict events from the life of the patron, the songs sing of their virtue, you can overhear an elder telling some children's stories about them. There may be special foods, activities, custom or clothing associated with the day, all of which say something about your world. And of course it doesn't have to be a religious event, anything that is important can have a celebration. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay mentions several, like First Quaff, a dwarven holiday when the first of the new beer is tasted, and Pie Week, a halfling celebration which no one seems to understand, including the halflings who are too busy eating pie. And things like harvest festivals are common all over the world. At a smaller level, personal events are also celebrated. Major life events such as births, coming of age, weddings and deaths generally involve some ceremony, if not outright pageantry. Some people celebrate birthdays every year in some way. Now, I'm not saying that your party should be invited to every NPC wedding and birthday party in your campaign, but using these celebrations as set dressing in the background helps flesh out your world. If your world has magical or supernatural elements, these can also have celebrations around them. The Gaelic festival of Samhain marks the end of the harvest, but it also marks the start of the dark period of the year, and the time when the boundaries between our world and the other side are thinnest. Solstices and equinoxes often have symbolic meanings attached to them, so you guessed it. It's time to party! Even otherwise mundane events can have some supernatural elements tagged on. For example, in the first episode of the excellent Spice and Wolf, the villagers have a special ritual for when the last sheaf of corn is harvested. Many places in Europe used to make the last sheaves into corn dollies and carry them back to the villages, so the field spirits would have somewhere to live during winter. Now, if the players see this happening, it's easy to feed them the information that field spirits might be a thing, and that they might get angry if they are not dealt with properly, without needing to spell it out for them. Skills are another thing that can be celebrated, usually through tournaments with prizes. Mostly these would be added on to other special occasions, but if your culture values something like swordsmanship or archery, you better believe there are going to be competitions. You want people to cultivate these skills, and the fame and prize money are a heck of an encouragement. In most cases this would be like going to watch a sporting event today, though something like a joust would be a very exclusive event. Races are another classic. Foot races, horse races, whatever. Round here we celebrate the 8th of September as it marks the end of the siege of 1565, and one of the traditions around that is a rowing boat race. But let's say you're done with world building or don't really care about it. What can celebrations do for your game when you're running at the table? Quite a bit, really. You see, celebrations aren't just there for your players to passively absorb lore. They can also be used to create situations, circumstances, and plot hooks to drive your adventures along. Celebrations bring people in, and the more people get together, the more things tend to happen. The Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay adventure A Brutal Finish is a great example of this. 5 or 6 high-profile individuals traveling to the same place would usually be a cause for suspicion, but a famous wine festival is a perfect cover for them to be in the same place. So many people coming in, who's to tell? They can also be a great way to have your players make new NPC friends and clients, or meet antagonists in a setting where neither side can easily resort to violence. Although, of course, the launch party for a mutual acquaintance's cabbage selling business could always send them fireballs. If your celebrations are also a ritual, things going wrong can bring up all sorts of consequences. Displays are angry? Oh no, that looks like a job for adventurers. Certain events may be the only time some individuals are seen in public. Maybe royalty or religious figures blessing the crowd or some such. Now, the potential for shenanigans there is huge. One example is the Dark Brotherhood plotline in Skyrim, where the player can draw the Emperor by, well, let's say that they have to cause a ceremony to happen. Like any large event, celebrations can disrupt the status quo of your settlements for some time. Some areas of a city might be difficult to get through because of crowds, and some businesses might be closed, so it would be harder for your players to get regular supplies quickly. Now, this is inconvenient, but it also makes the world feel a bit more lived in. On the other hand, traveling traders flock to crowds, so it might be a perfect time to find exotic supplies. Have you ever used ceremonies or celebrations in your games or made up especially interesting festivals? I'd love to hear about them. Make sure to check out the rest of the Dungeon Jam videos and have a great week. Bye!